Firstly, I'd personally like to apologize as I called out the wrong name. This time it's Professor Prasad Reddy with his presentation. I'm really sorry, sir, because I called out the wrong name before. Thank you.
Person, is it okay? Anyway, I want to talk about what we are doing as a company for sustainability of this planet. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me and bestowing the honor of Global Green Award. And it's a privilege, and we're really thankful for Dr. Nagar and Dr. Ashok Kumar and the rest of the committee. As a company, around a few years ago, about 5-6 years ago, we noticed the footwear. I'm in the footwear industry. It's a $250 billion industry, and it uses about 5 times more resources than apparel and quite a few other consumer goods. Mainly because there's a lot of leather used. 60% of the footwear is produced from leather. As you can, when you go to near a tannery, you can see that all the chemicals, pollution, and how much water is wasted. So that's the main reason. So a few years ago, we took on a challenge to produce footwear with all natural and biodegradable products. We still have a lot of leather products. For example, this is one shoe, which I have sampled here, but it has the upper portion is made from the recycled plastic water bottles. The outsole uses agricultural waste, rice husk, instead of being burnt and creating the pollution. We take 20% of that and mix it and produce outsoles. And the midsoles are produced from the sugarcane molasses that kind of goes into waste, as well as it's not, it stinks, as you all know, near the sugar. The shoe made from plastic water bottles, which I'm wearing, uses about 13 plastic water bottles. We clean up. So far, we cleaned up 3 million plastic water bottles that was in the ocean and land. And for every pair of shoes we sell, we plant a tree. You heard from Dr. Sharma why trees are so essential for the ecology system of the earth. And we do that because we want to not only clean up the environment, but also help the environment by planting trees. And we also use, on the upper material, for the first time in the world, we have experimented and using cork, which is plenty available. It's a natural material, biodegradable, for the shoe uppers. The linings of shoes generally are made from petrochemical-based nylon linings. We have changed it to 2 materials, plastic water bottles material, as well as the bamboo charcoal. Bamboo charcoal has natural antibacterial property as well as odor absorption and moisture absorption. So, and it's biodegradable too. So that's eliminating few million pounds of waste that's going into landfills, which is nylon material. And instead of that, we are using all those things. The other upper material we are using is the merino wool. We don't kill the animal for the upper. We just shear the animal for the wool, and the merino wool is used to make the shoes. And when we have to use leathers, we try to use leather that's vegetably tanned. We don't want to use a lot of chemical to tan the leathers. And we also, right now, are ready to use bamboo laces instead of nylon laces. So it's a natural material. Strength-wise, it's the same as a nylon lace. And Dr. Sharma also talked about algae. Algae is a big problem for lakes and rivers. So some of our midsoles use some algae to clean up the environment. We talked about sugarcane molasses. We take the midsole, which is normally EVA, ethyl vinyl acetate, and we take 51% of it and use sugarcane molasses, which is plenty available. Instead of that going to landfills, we use that to make the product. So it's a double purpose. We're not using petrochemicals to make the EVA, but also cleaning up the environment. Said rice husk, 70% of the population eat rice, so there's plenty available, and part of it is burnt. And we use that on the outsole. 20% of the rubber is taken out, and this is a process we came up 2 years ago, and we use it now. Other companies have followed us. And the footbed lining, which is insole lining, as I said earlier, we're changing to 100% natural material, which is the bamboo charcoal. Sometimes we mix the plastic water bottle material, the PET material. So that again eliminates all the nylon that's being used, which is petrochemical based. The one I'm most excited about, and this is for the first time in the world that's being done, almost everywhere in the factories when you go, you see huge amounts of waste that's outside the factories, whether it's from the leather or the materials that you use for the rubber or midsoles, the EVA, polyurethane, huge amounts that's going into the landfills. So in conjunction with another friend of mine who's an inventor, we came up with a process where we can make the footbed used in most of the shoes, you see. So the first products we tested and we introduced last week actually in a big trade show in USA. And first products will be coming out. I'm wearing one inside the shoe. They'll be coming out for commercialization wise in March. And we project this year alone and going forward, we eliminate taking 1 million pounds of the factory waste going to the landfills. As you know, landfills, when you use the factory waste, few years from now, 5, 6, 10, 20, 30 years from now, it's all contaminated. It goes seeps into the earth, seeps into the water system. So, anyway. So, there are a lot of efforts as a company. We do that, and we've been promoting and urging other businesses to do the same, mostly in USA, but around the world too. We partnered with a great organization called One Tree Planted. They plant trees all around the world, but we've been doing it in USA and California, where there are a lot of fires, California, Colorado, and Oregon. So far, we have planted 200,000 trees, which is equivalent to restoring 4,000 acres of forests. And we have the architect that see that the ecology system is so sensitive, and as a company, we took a stand that we will not ship or use the shipping companies that go through Arctic. As I said, waste production, I'm proud to say that our company, the entire, is a net zero plastic consumption. You will not see a single plastic paper or cup or spoon or anything in our company. It was banned 2 years ago. No plastic water, but nothing. We are net zero plastic consumption, which means we clean up more plastic than we use as a company. And it's quite a few all the other things we do including the manufacturing processes we've talked about. And I know we're limited in time, so I don't want to go through the whole thing. And so far, We have, in the last 4 years, we cleaned up 3 million plastic water bottles, which is equivalent to eliminating 1,035 cars from the system. And we planted 200 plus 200,000 trees, which is equivalent to taking out 4,000 tons of carbon dioxide to 4,000 acres restored. So again, I would eliminate 2 million pounds of waste going into the landfills. Again, we are proud to say we were nominated as the Footwear Company of the Year. Around the world, they selected 4 companies. The other 3 were multi-billion dollars company. Adidas being 68 billion, Timberland being 40 billion, and Sperry being part of Wolverine 3 billion. And here we're a small company of $500 million company, which is not small, but it's small compared to them. And we was told as I was getting on the plane to come here, we won the award as the Footwear Company of the Year in the world for sustainability, which I'm extremely proud of on behalf of all our people. Our goals, I'll do that, is by the end of this year, this is the thing that I took on 3 years ago. By the end of 2020, I want to be a carbon neutral company. The company itself, carbon neutral company, we are about 70% of the way there. As I said, we take so many initiatives into doing that. I don't want to go through that. And we want to plant 1 million trees by the end of 2021, which means restoring 20,000 acres of land, eliminating 20,000 tons of, eliminate 13 million plastic bottles and eliminate 2 million pounds of factory waste. So again, I want to thank you because